Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all.
Brunson just kept forcing shots after shot, knowing you don't have your legs. Everything was short. Um, but for me, turnovers. Mike Brown, you cannot spoil you a night like this when Mitchell Robinson plays this good. So for me, I games like this, I would like to see a guy like Cat pick it up when Brunson doesn't have it, and vice versa. That's the purpose of having two all-stars, superstars, stars, whatever you want to call them, right? It's your opinion or whatever you think they are.
Especially after having a night off yesterday.
Brunson has to realize, okay, I don't have my leg. Let me be a decoy. Let me get guys open. Let me help get guys open. And let me just make the right pass. There was a spray three that I love where Brunson drove to the lane and kicked it out to Mikal Bridges in the corner. Mikal hit the wide open three. Why wasn't we doing that more often?
He started off the exact way that I wanted him to when we knew he was already starting to look bad at the end of the first quarter yesterday. His legs looked short. He hit the game winner, but you could see he wasn't able to get to that extra gear today. He played way too many minutes in the first quarter. He played 36 minutes in total today. Maybe Kohler should have got into the first quarter sooner. Brunson started off the game passing the ball, manipulating the defense, taking on the double team, and then kicking it out, finding an open man. But he got away from that, and he started shooting too much. And it's like, bro, you know, I can see it. I know you're trying to push through it, and he's probably used to pushing through it because he's a killer. That's what he does. But tonight was not the night, especially in the second half when you had all the minutes played in the first half. Mike Brown should have seen that. So I totally agree with you. Is it just one game, y'all? Of course it's just one game, chat. I get it. But at the same time, this is a Philly team who is playoff bound. We could see them in the playoffs potentially, especially if we don't lock in the first seed. You got Boston, who Jason Tatum is supposed to be recovering from an Achilles injury in the quickest at the quickest speed in the history of mankind. Then you have Toronto up and down. RJ Barrett's going to come back to be a little more competitive. And with Philly, who's to say they're not holding him off? They're not holding off their star player, Joel Embiid, to the playoffs. They already gave us problems when he dropped the 50 ball on us on one leg. Maybe we're so used to seeing and looking at dynamic duos throughout history. And, like Shaq and Kobe stand out, right? And neither one, to compare them to Shaq and Kobe is crazy. But this would have been a game where Shaq would have seen Kobe was a little bit lacking. Kobe would have seen Shaq and was like, yo, bro, I got you. I got us. And Cat doesn't really have that gear, that competitive gear to be like, yo, I'm taking this over. What y'all talking about? Nobody on this team is messing with me. I'm all NBA. So him, Mike Brown, I would have loved to see more of a conversation with them. Yo, get the ball to Brunson's hand. He's going to bring the ball up. If we give him the ball, he's going to shoot the ball. He's bugging. He was bugged the entire fourth quarter. He was not thinking straight. He had to get rid of the ball, boy. I didn't like anything about his game tonight except for the first half of the first quarter.
The coaching staff, you have to save Brunson from himself a lot of nights. This is not only one game. And the reason why I say that is because this happens with us, with Brunson, at least 10 to 15 times a season, maybe 20 times a season, where he doesn't have it and he tries to force it. This is where you're supposed to feature Cat. Now, we know Cat isn't vocal, so Cat is never going to be a Shaq. And I'm not talking about skill set, but as far as verbal, as far as vocal, as far as, hey, throw me the fucking ball down here. See, this is the night where Cat was supposed to have 40. How many times are we going to expect Brunson to carry us when we have another superstar on the team? And that's not, defending Brunson because he deserves a lot of smoke. He has to acknowledge and understand when he doesn't have it, you have another guy there. That was the purpose of trading for Cat. So I think the coaching staff, Mike Brown, this is when, you get in the huddle and you explain to Brunson. The same way Phil Jackson was in the huddle and explained to Mike. Push your guys. That's the ball. Remember, this is Phil Jackson talking to Michael Jordan, the GOAT. This is when Mike Brown was supposed to be in that huddle with Brunson. Hey, Brunson, push your guys. Let's feature Cat more. Nobody on Philly can guard him. And let Cat bring us home. So for me, the coaching staff has to understand their personnel. Maybe this wasn't the night for Brunson. Maybe you have in the backcourt Kolek and Clarkson. I don't know. But you have to try something. You have to be able to protect home court. And like I said, you can't give a Philadelphia team that much confidence because I'm gonna keep repeating it. Everybody that plays against us, they give us their all. And we have to understand that. Remember, they call him Captain Clutch. You have to save him from himself. And if he doesn't understand that, you bench him. Okay, you know what? No problem. We're gonna take this loss. But sometimes he has to learn a lesson. Yo, when it ain't your night, when you ain't got your legs under you, when every shot, even your free throws, is coming up short, trust your players. Get Mikal Bridges involved more. Get Cat involved more. Oh, for me, to me, this was a bad loss. I don't like it because this can be a snowball effect for us. Like I said, we've all been Knicks fans long enough to understand we can go on a 3-4 game losing streak. So, we just have to be careful about tonight. But just a bad loss. Like I said, just it was tough to watch. I'm sorry. It was just tough to watch. It seems like even though everybody numbers wise were decent, we were bad. And Fabian, I'm gonna say this, and I've been saying it. Guys like Brunson, been saying this, and people think I'm crazy. And he's a good guy, humble guy, so it may not come off like that. I think Brunson looks for his numbers. I really do. I don't think Brunson is comfortable putting up under 20 points. Seriously. And I watch him a lot. Much as I love him, games like tonight, bro, you shot too much. You didn't have it. You didn't have it. So, I just hope this is just a little stinker and we get past this and get back on the roll. Uh, Big shot Mitchell Robinson. It's just sad that we spoil you a night for him because he was definitely the player of the game if we win this game.
I think that Brunson's always going to look for his numbers because that's naturally who he is. He's a scorer. I can't be mad at him again, being this way in terms of that's who he is. You got to blame him because he's the one that's taking the shots and making these decisions. But I'm always going to be more upset with Karl-Anthony Towns, Mike Brown, and these guys not taking it from him. And we all knew what was going on in a back-to-back game. They all had the night off last night. So I don't know if it was, the rhythm that was lost or whatever the case may be, but I can never be upset with Jalen Brunson being Jalen Brunson. I'm going to be more upset with the game plan being totally different than the night before. The approach not being who can we get to score tonight based off of Philly's defenses, Philly's athletes. These are a different set of athletes from the guys we played last night, which was the Pacers. The Pacers don't have these guys out there. They're depleted. These guys are all young. They're all studs. They look like Paul George is obviously an aging star, but Tyrese Maxey, he looks like he's going to be an All NBA first team. VJ Edgecombe is in the running for Rookie of the Year. He's a highlight reel. Jared McCain's coming off the injury, and of course Quentin Grimes, like that, the former Knick who we may have to entertain, bringing back to New York, who's playing better off the bench than he is starting, according to Mike Breen, not Mike Breen, Stan Van Gundy, one of them that was calling the game today. But that game plan has to be on Mike Brown. How do we know that Brunson's out there, and if he's tired, he's gonna go to his default setting. His default setting is I'm gonna go gun. That's just what I do. And they had to.
Hold on, and you said I don't mean to cut you off. You said something. That's what I meant by saying the coaching staff. You have to save Brunson from his. He's been around the league and played the game long enough that he has to acknowledge when I don't have it, you have to do something else. So I like, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you can't blame Brunson for being Brunson, but we're gonna put you in that Derek Jeter, Tom Brady role. And we're not talking about championships, just the mindset. And we have to acknowledge and put some blame on you, bro. When you know when you don't have it, you have another guy, you have another couple guys. So, like I said, that's the point I was trying to make. That, and I've never heard nobody say that. You have to save Brunson from himself because if you don't, it'd be nights like tonight where if it was another 10 minutes of the game, he would have put up probably another 5 to 10 shots. That would have been bad. So I get what you're saying, but we cannot not hold Brunson accountable. I definitely disagree with you as far as tonight.
No, I want to hold him accountable. He's the one who took the shots. I'm with you with that. But this is good. Going back to the same conversation we had 6 months ago. Dog, cat, somebody got to show something else. In order for it to save him from himself, one of you guys got to talk to the coach or just show off the play. I'm not giving you the ball. How about that? Because defensively on a switch for Maxey, horrible. Every switch, they were hunting Brunson once again on a defensive end. So that means not only are you missing shots defensively, horrible. And Cat has improved as of late. But today, he was dropping too far back from Maxey. He's just a tough matchup. He's one of the elite offensive players. But Brunson, in order to save himself from himself, you got to be able to read that also. Mike Brown had to read that. He had to, I think, had to bench bench Brunson and bring in Kohler, bring in Clarkson for way more minutes. I can't totally blame Mike Brown because he's starting to see what works, especially when he's shown whatever doesn't work, I'm not doing that shit no more. Mitchell Robinson, 3 minutes in the first quarter, the beginning he plays in the beginning of the first quarter, last 3 minutes of the first quarter, all that 3-minute splice action, he got rid of it. You're going to the bench. He's learning in real time what hopefully we're going to see in the playoffs. I'm not going to allow Jalen Brunson to shoot us out of a game when he's showing he's dead tired. It's not like he's off, because we've seen Brunson be off or any player be off when they have their legs. He would look exhausted. 3 games and 4 nights. He traveled from Vegas. It was a West Coast trip. Their body clocks all over the place. There's all kind of stats out there. If you're flying in from one coast to the other and you're a road team, you're more likely to lose. That's just the math. You can't go against that. Forget analytics. It's just nature. But Brown has to do a better job of going into that game and saying, I don't need Brunson to fall into default mode and start shooting a spot of game if he ain't got it like that. And y'all know what this was.
Knicks Rehab.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll probably be back tomorrow with AllBall reaction. We got a couple episodes. It might be a premiere. Chop it up nice. You could have been anywhere, but you come here to choose your path with us. Love y'all. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Dave Smith, watch your mouth. Good evening. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.